Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Develops. I'm pretty sure I've got the microphone on and we're ready to go. This is number, I don't know, remember the number. Great. Remember one thing but forget another. And let's remember this time to bunch this up a little. I like people to get a good idea of what I'm doing rather than having to strain their eyes on whatever medium they're using. Alright, so here we go. Today we're going to be dealing with not the rogue, but the wizard. Now the wizard is more angelic. Congratulations, you're formerly angelic. So the wizard had been originally one of the angels of boundaries of the terminus, guarding the island that Thazadun happened to be imprisoned on. The Thazadun being like the death of the universe sort of thing. So the wizard, but at some point the wizard received, following the commands of Ao, that was a lost deity now, who'd been destroyed in circumstances that I'm not going to get into. But it'd been one of the terrifying angels that guarded those bounds, but then received basically an internal command from Ao that had been laying in wait for a long time, that they were to be reborn as a child of a pair of cultist parents who had been trying to come and get to the shore, and so these parents sort of, had second thoughts upon the birth of their child, and with especially with the angel reborn within it, and they set about making a life there in Carceri, which is where the adventure takes place. So anyway, long story short, not possible at this point. The angel became a mortal, which became a wizard, who became level 20, basically in the depths of Carceri, and under very unusual circumstances. Now we're going to have to go with neutral, I think. Lawful neutral is the purview of the monk. True neutral will give them a bit to go with the rogue, which will be good. All right, let's get right to the stats. The stats are, of course, what most players first look at when they see a character, like, what am I good at? And the answer is going to be intelligence. Preternaturally intelligent. Wisdom is some of that. Charisma, a little of that. Constitution, oh, strangely enough, yes. 12. So there's kind of all over the place. But that's fine. I'm going to give them Constitution, Intelligence, and Wisdom as saving throws. They'll have a bonus to those, so they'll be better at that. Skills are usually what comes next, and you'll notice that's very much you're reading left to right, like you would in on a page of a book, for example. And that's why it makes this official character sheet very effective. This is definitely something you want. It's a form-fillable PDF, because you can just keep it in. And if you want to print it out and add like personal hand notes, that's great. I do that too. But if you need to, you'll always have a copy around. So even if you lose one copy, great, you still have another one. All right. So Arcana is a must for any wizard. I mean, a wizard who does not have Arcana is a very sad wizard. I don't think I can give them history. I can, but it's going to be Carceri. Oh, no, I'll give them history. It's a good intelligence-based skill, and they will just know things, especially things outside of Carceri that have sort of been programmed to them. I don't know if I can give them nature. I don't know if I can give them... I'm going to give them religion. I'm going to give them the... Do I give them investigation? Because I also gave that to the rogue. And we'll see with 6 characters, because we're going to have 6 characters with this. The question is, do I let everybody have their own special thing? I'd like the rogue to be the one to do the investigations. We'll see. We'll see. Now, is there anything else outside of the intelligence-based stuff? Survival is kind of necessary. Not animal handling. Nobody's going to get animal handling in this one, so that's fine. All right. There's plenty of D4 hit points. All right, personality traits. Now, the wizard is an unusual character at its core, and so their personality traits are going to be a bit odd. Aloof by design. Most things in this world don't need me. Don't need or I them. There we go. There's a bit of formal prose from the wizard. And that's just the way it is. Knowledge brings fear, which breeds action that yields results. Okay. That's an interesting one that starts off with a Futurama quote, but it goes somewhere else, and I'm fine with that. Ideals. Ideals. Ooh, that's a tough one. There is a greater plan at work. At work here. Not in everything we do, but in the larger sense. Absolutely. Which is, well, it's tempting to make them lawful neutral, but neutral. So let me give them a little bit of an alignment kick. Neutral, natural. Just sort of there's no reason to go one way or the other. There's all part of a great plan, even the things that don't make sense. Bonds. Why are they friends with people? The people you know are the most important people to know. They will take you places. They will take you places and give you insight. That's what friendship means to them. Well, I'm really filling up the text blocks, and that's a good thing. That's the okay. So the flaws. I am strange and unusual. I know this. Others know it too. We all know, and yet it still proves a barrier at times. Now, he's not crazy, but he is supernatural. All right. Knobby staff. Because, all right, there we go, knobby staff. Blend. Sharpie knife. D4 pierce. These are weapons that they will probably never use. D6 blunt. Tossy darts. D3 40. All right. Now, you might be thinking, that's kind of odd names for that. Well, remember, they've grown up in Carceri since they were a child, and their mortal life has been uh, different, to say the least. Very, very different. Um, Unlike most of the others, the closest that comes to it is the cleric. The cleric was a young child when they came to Carceri. So they have a similar point of view, but they still knew some part of reality. They still had a construct of what it meant to be a more ordinary life. The wizard has none of that, and their angelic existence provided none of that. So they're weird. They are definitely weird, but in a way that hopefully will be playable. Okay, I also need a construction skill. Masonry, masonry, and bricklaying. Yes, they're different. At least I assume they are. Masonry, yes, they're different. Um, how about that glass blowing? Glass blowing. Um, for fun and pleasure. You might say, aren't those different? Aren't those the same thing? No. No. Okay, so what else? What else? I need languages. Speaks languages. All right. What was the chaotic tongue? Was it demonic? Abyssal, celestial, abyssal, celestial, celestial. The dark tongue. The dark tongue. I need a celestial equivalent. The one language. The one voice. This is part of their angelic ancestry. That's simple labels. And a smattering of others. The one voice. All right. So there we go. There we go. Coins. Why would they need coins? Yeah, one of each. That's distinctive. Equipment. Did they have a 7-demon bag? I don't recall what their magic items were. Well, crap. Stuff. And I'm not going to go look it up now because... wizard stuff. Wizard stuff. Meta magic feats. Synergies with the others. Some angelic holdover bits. And we're going to actually cover a lot of that when we go down to here. Additional features and traits. Traces of angelicism. Angelism. Let's see. Never bruises. Angels don't bruise. They can get cut, sure, but they don't bruise. Never bruises. Eyes light up when you get angry. Never bruise. Cut, yes. Bruise, no. Cut, yes. Bruise, no. Cut or crushed, yes. Bruise, no. Eyes light up when you get angry. You choose the color. All right. What else to that depict the angelic heritage? Yes. Has the keyword word celestial. You're considered a celestial. A celestial and outsider for many spells. For some spells. For some spells. Which means I don't know if they can be unsummoned. But, whatever. I don't think so. But there are other spells where you'd be like, yeah, you protection from good and evil. Those. Into it. Like protection from good. All right. What else would be nice? Only a faint trace behind. Well, that's a bit of the elves from what do you call it? Lord of the Rings. So, anyway, let's move on. Allies and organizations. Now this is going to be interesting. So here we go. All these other things up there, age, height, weight. The player can define those if they like. Skin is really good. Here, really nice. Eyes, beautiful. Ageless. Height, tall. Weight, appropriate. There we go. See, that's nice. That's all very nice. All right. Allies and organizations. The Mad Brothers. Sad Sisters. I don't recall that Carceri philosophy group. Yeah, philosophy. Oh, I've spelled philosophy so badly that I didn't know what the word was. Okay, good. Because if I can't do that, why am I a writer? Not to break computers. That Carceri group. The cleric. No. the 9 remaining terminus. He considers them allies still. I mean, whether or not they are, it's a good question. Maybe they would be spared if they tried to return to the island. That's something to consider. It's an out, and maybe it's a character-defining moment when they reach the shores of the Lake of Doom and they have to cross over to the island of Thazadun. Okay, the 9 remaining angels of terminus. Okay, what else? Low worms of the upper tunnels. The mushrooms of the little lake. Okay. Well, that's good enough. Treasures, things that the wizard treasures. Now, these aren't going to necessarily have worth, but they are going to have sentimental value. No. My hat. These are treasures that they've secreted somewhere else. So let's figure out what they would value. A really nice cloak with silver embroidery. Silk threads and too soft for wear. Silk threads. Too soft for wear. Good, sturdy boots that need a proper cobbler to fix. Mending just won't do. Alright, because there's a mending cantrip and I could use that. So what are we doing here? Various lengths of string. Alright, a book by Voth, The Legacy of the Angels. Good for a laugh. Alright, character story, in case they need to refer to this. You were made by the AO long ago. Before there was a need, AO, long ago, and before there was a need. Even after the death of the word, when AO ceased to live, ceased to think, When AO ceased to think. Among the portfolios. It's not how you spell portfolio. Oh, you. There's no way I spelled that correctly. Unless if I did, I don't know that I spelled it correctly. So, deities. When AO ceased to think, disbursement. You remained asleep. Then came the binding of the Titans. And still you slept. You slept through the war in heaven. Even after then, still you slept. Finally, Dazadun was about the death of the universe. Devourer of the universe was bound the depths of Carceri. Then you awakened and took your post with 11 others to watch and wait and ignore that. That's I got a meeting at 15. So this is going to have to wrap up pretty good. To watch and wait and, as it turned out, be reborn into mortal flesh at a long dormant command from AO. And so you were born to the mother, to those cultists who made their way to the shores of despair, seeking to revitalize their final god. Seeking to revitalize their final god. But this pair flinched after your birth, and instead made a home in Carceri. You grew up. You learned magic, of course, because your natural talents were without bounds. All this to obey the command of AO, to leave Carceri and find a way to deal with Dazadun now that entropy's bounds have begun to unravel. It is a command you cannot, will not disobey. It is your destiny. It is your destiny. All right, well, there we go. And we're at the 30-minute mark. Excellent, excellent. So that's that. Here you'd have all of the spells that the wizard's going to have. There's going to be a lot of spells. So many spells. So many spells. If there's anything I'm going to take from this, it's going to be the wizard is going to be a difficult character to play because you're going to have so many options. I'm going to have to make sure that I tell myself that the player needs to be given a moment to consider what spells they're going to do, they're going to use. Because, well, there you go. The wizard's going to have so many of them, and spellcasting is going to be their thing. I mean, they've got some other stuff, but if you notice, I've nerfed them pretty much on any of the. You can do other stuff. No. Mainly spellcaster. All right, so this has been Ellen Develops. I hope you've enjoyed this little walk that I finally managed to make through without any serious issues. Through the design of characters for D&D for GenCon 2020, which has unfortunately been canceled in person, but I may go virtually and run a game or two. That depends on how well my computer foo is with setting up a game, setting up maps, putting characters into play, etc. I need to master one of the systems, the online systems, to be able to move tokens around, to be able to create maps, to be able to do all that sort of stuff and have it look good. But that's for another time, and that's on me for the preparation for that. So I hope you had have a good time. Stay safe out there and take care. Thanks.